After I got home from work, I thought I'd buy a game for my son. He was into the Mario, Sonic, and Donkey Kong type stuff, so I got him a game. I don't think he's ever played though. It was Sonic R. It was a racing game, as I heard, and at the time was pretty new. I raced home to give him the game and kissed my wife on the cheek. I held her, and she was happy for me, giving him a present. The excitement filled his eyes, and I could tell he couldn't wait to play it. He went back to his room, and I was right behind him to play it with him. A couple of days passed, and he told me he was almost done with the game. I watched him beat the last boss, and he roared in excitement as he beat it. I felt good for him, patted his head, and asked how it was. The peculiar thing was, as I did so, I looked at the end credits screen and pointed and said, What's that?" He didn't really say anything, but after a moment, he simply said, "That's the Tails doll." I looked at him confused, unsure what he meant, so I asked him, "What's the Tails doll?" And he simply replied with, "It's the Tails doll." I obviously face-palmed and ignored the scenery. I called for him to get to bed. As he was sleeping, the curiosity got the best of me though. I went into his room, very quietly turned the volume down on the TV, and was ready to play some Sonic R. Knowing he already beat the game, I decided to play it again through watching him from earlier. I noticed you could play as Tails doll, knowing that it was the main reason I wanted to play the game. So I chose to tag up with him and some of the game. It was pretty fun, actually, until I tagged him up with Sonic. Right when I hit that button, my whole life changed. My life was now literally in the palm of its hand. It was all calm at first, I must say. The screen shut off along with the game system. I let things be and went to bed with my wife. She grasped onto me as I did to her, falling in a deep sleep. However, around 2 a.m., I began to hear thumping noises on my door. Keeping it shut and knowing my son could get the game himself, I just said, "Stop, go back to bed." But the thumping kept happening. I got very annoyed and noticed as I got up that there was a little shadow coming from under my door. Nothing at all compared to a regular human-sized shadow. I kinda started freaking out. The words "Tails" kept popping up in my head over and over. I started to slowly open the door and heard these very faint words I will never forget again. "You are coming with me forever." It was a doll, an evil blood-covered possessed little doll. It was from the game. It had to be. It just looked exactly like it. I screamed, waking up the whole house as it started clawing my toes. Blood was all over the floor, and as I started to scream in agony, the creature that attacked me began to growl aggressively. My wife became scared and immediately dialed the police. Then the creature scattered across the floor, running from me. Its screech was awful, and it left a trail of blood behind it. It said it had what it needs, knowing it can't finish its job tonight. Ever since that day, I'm afraid to go to sleep at night. My sleeping patterns are scattered apart. I go to sleep at around 6 a.m. and wake up at around 8 p.m. to start my day. I know this may sound fake, but it isn't. I swear to this day, I am shocked to even think about falling asleep.